Hello, everybody. My name is Benjamin Bloom. It is the Benjamin Bloom Football Show, and I have just witnessed Nottingham Forest 0, Fulham 1. Big win for Fulham there. We thought this match might give us a rehearsal for the 4th versus 5th playoff semi-final coming up, and Fulham get the win, their 3rd straight win. Look, I'm going to put the table up now, but remember, we have games in progress, so it's probably going to change in minutes. That table reflects the fact that Brentford are losing. The other games down the bottom, Luton and Barnsley and Reading and Huddersfield, will not appear on there. But what that does for Fulham is very nice, puts them on to 73 points. And we know that Fulham do have West Brom to play. So if Fulham can match West Brom up until that game, Fulham could close to within a point of West Brom, although it looks like Brentford uphill battle in the second half. But look, more of that as it shakes out. We're into ifs, buts and maybes. Harry Arter with the goal just before the half-time whistle. In fact, 3 minutes into first half stoppage time. We do have some law wording to talk about with reference to that goal and a possible handball. But we know Forest like to play at 1-0 up or at 0-0. They like that. And Fulham did a pretty good job of keeping Forest at bay with that 1-0 advantage in the second half. Get your comments in and we'll get to them once I've gone through the action. I'll do that real quick, and we'll get your chat going. Hit the thumbs up button if you are live in the stream. Try and bring more people across to our little discussion and debate here. Let's get into the action first of all. There are your lineups. One little tweak from that. Lolly did start in the 10 position with Silva over to the left. Look at the Fulham lineup there. No Tom Kearney, no Alexander Mitrovic. So a little bit of their pattern of play changes when there's no Kearney and when there's no Mitrovic. Indeed. In the first half, all pretty tight. Lolly with a right footer on 5 minutes. That goes wide. Graben gets one-on-one with Hector and can't quite get round him on 16. We've seen him score from chances like that before. Reed, big drive down the middle. Here gets past Watson, long range. A dip. Little bit too far out, just flies over the top of the crossbar there. Reed from the edge of the box as well. Bobby Reed, that is deflected, falls to Onome. He spins, he shoots, well blocked out by Figueiredo. He can't find his way past the Forest centre half. There, Hector, high, wide and handsome on 35. Onoma, yellow card on 42. Cash gets one in on 45, gets down the right, crosses in for Graben. He's across the front of Hector, but Hector is tight enough to put Lewis Graben off. And then we get to the moment that we're now about to debate for the next 5 minutes, no doubt, having heard from the Forest fans at half-time. So what happens is Naskins Cabano has the ball on the left. He plays it in to Harry Arter, who has a really bad first touch. Arter then thinks, oh, crikey, I've got to play this across now. I've lost control of it. So he slides. Obviously, in sliding, he goes to ground and puts his arms behind his back, and he's going to try and push himself up. He kicks the ball. It pretty much hits Ben Watson and comes straight back at Arter, who is obviously on his backside, pushing himself up to stand up again. Now, this is the point where Forest fans are contending that the ball hits Arter's arm. We'll look at that in a minute. Arter jumps up and take out any handballness from this. Let's just analyse the shot and the finish. It's brilliant. He gets it out of his feet. We've got a still. There we go. Look at that. So just off the angle, he's going to curl that to the side of Figueiredo, who you can see there is the closest defender. Samba not badly positioned. Izzy looks like he can get a sight of the ball, but that is going to fly swinging outwards into the top corner. Right, let's have a look at this Arter handball. So here he is. I don't know if I've quite caught it hitting his arm there or his bicep. You can see he slipped over. The ball's hit Watson. Looks like Samba Sal's going down as well in the background, and it hits the arm, possibly. I'd need to see a better still of it. Look, I will let you guys have your say in the comment. Let me just have mine first off. I promise I'll read your riposts. Here is the IFAB law change. If you look at it there, I have circled it, and we're looking at bullet point number 2. Accidental handball by a player or teammate is only penalised if it occurs immediately before a goal, which in this event we get, or a clear goal scoring opportunity. I'd have to look at immediately, but obviously Arta scores within a couple of seconds, so you think that's immediately. It's not an obvious goal scoring opportunity because he's 25 yards out and there's 8 players between him and the goal. But the law there says if it goes in the goal. So look, we have this ridiculous state where that law says that the ball is kicked at Arta. If that hits his arm, which is obviously not deliberate because he's laying on the ground, it's booted at him. If that hits his arm and he stands up and passes the ball to his left, it's not handball because there's no goal that follows it. If he stands up, having had the ball, and it doesn't matter whether it's deliberate or not, it's obviously not deliberate. If he stands up and then smacks that in the top corner like he does, it's handball. So it's a really, really difficult one. That wording has obviously been brought in for VAR. So in this event, the referee can referee it. He looks at it. And look, unless the ref is the Terminator here and he's got X-ray vision and his brain can go, right, that's been booted at his hand. If he now kicks that in the top corner, I'm going to disallow the goal. If he even saw the handball. If he doesn't see the handball, then no decision, fair enough. Obviously, the argument the Forest fans were making at half-time, and I do accept this argument, maybe I was a bit salty at half-time. If VAR looks at that, they can disallow it because the deliberate thing doesn't come into it. If they get a shot, a freeze frame of the ball hitting his arm anywhere below the shoulder, they can disallow it because a goal is scored directly after it. Now, obviously, that law has been brought in for a computer, VAR, and 10 replays to look at, not for a referee who's, like I say, not got the Terminator chip in his head. It's for clear and obvious errors and goals, and VAR is in the Premier League and not here. I think over time, the powers that be are going to have to find a way of tweaking these laws, because if a player slips over, tries to play the ball, and the opposition player literally boots it at his shoulder, and he then puts the ball into the back of the net, jumps up from 25 yards with a brilliant shot, I don't really think that's the spirit of the handball law. But, okay, laws are black and white, and, you know, is there any place for spirit in them? I'm sure they're going to come up with something over time. I'm sure your comments are flooding in. I can see 34 have come up. I'll look at them, I promise. So my position is, if there's VAR, yes, they might well. If they get a good camera shot of that hitting him below there, yes, they could disallow it. Do I think that that is what the handball law is there for? No. Is that relevant? No, maybe not. Spirit of the law and what's it for? It's a bit like saying if you drive 31 in a 30, well, yeah, you are speeding. You know, it is what it is, and a policeman can come give you a ticket, can't he? He can say, you went over the speed limit. The speed limit's 30. But is it in the spirit of the law? I'm not sure. Does that matter? I'm not sure. Are we going to debate it? Yes. Are the powers that be going to come up with maybe some different wording that allows some wriggle room or some percentage or something, maybe in deliberate, non-deliberate things? It has to be arm away from the body or literally hit the lower. I don't know. They'll come up with something to stop events like this. We saw the one in the Premier League as well, where, was it Harry Kane had the ball? He's literally lying on the floor. The ball gets booted at him. In any other instance, it's not handball because it's not deliberate. But then, of course, the ball goes loose and it leads to a goal. So it's such a weird situation where it is or it isn't handball, not depending on the incident, but depending on what happens after the incident. And we can't have that. It's just too complicated. And surely for a human being without VAR, which we don't have in the EFL, that's too much. Anyway, I've rambled on. I promise, if you disagree with me, I will read your comment. I promise, promise, promise. Let's just move on to the second half. So let me just reiterate my position. If there was VAR, that's probably getting disallowed. There's not VAR. So my position is I'm okay with that goal standing. But if there was VAR, I would understand the guy pushing the buttons disallowing it. Is that fair? That's my position on it. Let me know what yours is in the comments. Right. I wrote down at half time, can Forest play 0-1 down? It didn't work for them, did it? Yates and Da Costa in for Lolly and Sal. Sal, as I said, looked like he was on a one-man mission to wind up the Fulham team here. So maybe he was a yellow card, red card risk. Lolly didn't look fit, did he? He went down. He was getting treatment before the game and he went down twice in the first half. So Lamusi obviously getting Lolly out of the line of fire there. Substitutions again, Diakabi for Amiobi. It looks like Lamusi is wanting to use Diakabi, so that'll be interesting going forward into the playoffs. Forest push on a bit coming up to the hour mark. Couple of attacking set plays from there. Territory kind of going their way, I feel. Big counter. On 63, substitution. Semedo for Silva. Diakabi on 66 to Semedo in off the left. Right foot of their Rodak behind that makes the save. Big counter on 68 for Forest. Arta gets robbed here. Watson on to grab and cross finds its way to Semedo. He doesn't shoot. He lays it off to Ben Watson. Ben Watson doesn't want to shoot. I know he's in the box. They've scored a couple of goals this season. Watson gives it straight back and the chance, well, it ends up with Ribeiro who puts it wide. But that needed Semedo to take affirmative action there. Either hit the shot first time or try and take his man on. The pass to Watson, with hindsight, wasn't the right choice. Cheap corner given away by Figueiredo. Half chances for Reed and Brian. One blocked, one wide for Fulham. Knockout for Cabano. Johansson for Arta. That was a good substitution by Scott Parker. I think that was a little bit of a turning point there. Double chance here. Knockout from the edge of the box. That's down Samba's throat. He's right behind that and makes the save. Then big boot from Samba down the other end. Da Costa does all he can with it. Bouncing ball. He tries to wind the neck up and header it over Rodak, but he makes the catch. Forest pushing again, getting men into the box. Cash, some long throw-ins. A deep cross goes in here. Harrison Reed lays a lazy leg. This one, that could have gone anywhere, but flies past the far post. Ribeiro, yellow. Here we go again with the handball thing. Knockout deep into the box. This time, Figueiredo, a Forest player, slips over on his backside. Obviously, he puts his arms behind him. The ball rolls along and hits Figueiredo's arm. So now we have this ridiculous situation where in the same game now, we've had two players slip over and the ball be kicked at their arm by an opposition player. IFAB laws say this is not handball because it didn't lead to a goal or a goal-scoring opportunity and it wasn't deliberate. Whereas Harry Arta's, which is pretty much exactly the same, IFAB laws say because he then kicks it in a goal, it is handball, whether it's deliberate or not. That rule needs tidying up because that's all over the place. Because I understand the argument on the first goal either way, but what now gets ridiculous is how can one be handball and not be the other on the basis of what happens after it? That doesn't seem right to me. There we go. Your comments are flooding in. I can see 61 there. We will get to them. I will read them out. And if you disagree with me and you're civil and don't insult me, I will read your comment. I promise. 86, Lamarchand in for Bobby Reed. We've seen that a few times from Scott Parker, third centre-back on this season. Cash, yellow. And Forest do fairly well playing this one out. 4th minute of stoppage time. Adoy gets yellowed for kicking the ball away into the box, falls for grabbing, he sorts his feet out as quickly as he can. Big block by Knockout there. So there you have it. There is the table. Let me just flash up my info goal at the moment and press refresh and see whether that table will have actually changed since we've been doing anything. Doesn't look like it. Charlton are still winning at Brentford. So as I speak, that table is still valid. Fulham up to 3rd, but big chance for Leeds and West Brom now to go 10 and 11 points clear. Remember, if you are 10 points clear with 4 games to go, that's essentially putting you 1 win away from the promotion goal, isn't it? Because 9 would be unassailable with 3 to go. Let's have a look at the stats. And then, my God, I'm going to open up your comments and Pandora's box. 10 shots apiece. 4 shots to Forest on target to Fulham's 2. 395 to 226 converted passes. in the attacking third, 115 to 54 in Fulham's favour. You'd expect all of this. 25 take-ons to 23, 28 crosses to 12 in 28 crosses for Forest. Big number there. 32 tackles from Fulham in that game. Impressive to 27 for Forest. 11 interceptions as well. We have to say, did Fulham out Forest today in respects of getting a kind of low percentage chance, scoring the goal, defending well, and getting the win? Possibly they did. Right, here goes. Let's have a look at your comments. Here we go. Owen, the ref was, Forest should have had a penalty and a free kick. There we go. Lovely bit of S-housing from Fulham at the end. Enzo says, wasn't there a handball in the build-up to Fulham's goal? We have talked about that lots and lots and lots. Get your thoughts in on it. Mr. Core, Fulham looks strong without Mitrovic. The points per game says good as well. Liam says Brentford are losing. Toby, Fulham comfortably a better side without Mitrovic. Here we go. Dale, excuse me, I pressed the wrong button. Where are we going? Sorry, can you still see me? Yes, you can. Good. Dale says, I'm on edge here. Nervous here. It's happening for Leeds and West Brom if Charlton can hang on, can't it? Full credit to Parker today. Set up well against the stubborn Forest side, and we did it missing 2 key men. Great away performance. You can't disagree with that. The Leeds fans are excited. Brentford are losing. James, the Charlton fan, says, come on, you Reds. And the Brentford clean sheet record has gone. Brandon's happy. Luton are winning. Katie's happy about that. Agent Bowyer doing the biz for Leeds. Nobody's saying you're doubting Brentford now. Look, come on. I'll ease off that one. I think the Fulham goal should have been disallowed. I don't mind that view. My view on it, I'll repeat, if there's VAR, I don't have a problem with that getting disallowed because the guy pressing the button can't do anything else. But in this situation where it's a ref looking at it, I also don't have a problem with the goal standing. So I'm not sitting on the fence. That's my view. Can Forest be caught? Of course they can be caught, Ridley. Let's just bring the table up real quick. Forest there, 68. A Cardiff win will put them on 67. The only issue is Derby have got to go to West Brom. So, yeah, we really need to just keep our eye on Brentford. That is the key game going on. Please keep me updated in the comments. I'm sure all you Leeds fans panicking are going to do that. Assuming the top 6 teams remain where they are with West Brom and Leeds going up for your autos, which of the current 3 to 6 do you think will go up the current 3 to 6? Well, Brentford are probably the best footballing side. Fulham have had the 3 wins on the bounce now. They're in form, and without Mitro and Kearney, Forest would be the best without the ball, and Cardiff would be quite good. Tight playoffs. I can see arguments for all of them. Let's hope West Brom drop points. Well, and this is the thing now. If I am a Fulham fan, I'm looking at West Brom versus Derby and hoping that they draw, knowing, again, I'm going to bring the table up, knowing that Fulham do play West Brom. If West Brom were to draw, that is then at least to drop points. God, they could lose, couldn't they? But if they draw, they go to 78. And then I know as a Fulham fan that if Fulham go and beat West Brom, it tightens up to 2 points, doesn't it? I think West Brom go to Blackburn in the meantime. I think possibly they do. Let's go through some more of your comments. Jay, if it was in the Premier League, I agree, but I think it would have been very harsh without VAR. Yeah, I agree with that. It would have been harsh without VAR. And with VAR, it's just one of those things. Again, I would argue if I go to work and my bosses tell me these are the rules and I need to disallow that goal, I've got to disallow the goal. It's my job. So there we go. Adam and Eve says, come on, Charlton. Brandon says, come on, Charlton. All the Leeds, West Brom and Fulham fans are supporting Charlton. There we go. Leo says, if that was a Prem, it would have been a free kick. He controls it with his arm. I think I agree with the first bit, Leo. I think it would have been they would have brought it back for a free kick. Yes, they would. He controls it with his arm is a little bit unfair because controls implies that he has, well, maybe it doesn't, but implies he had anything to do with it. But I take your point. Mark says, Agent Bowyer, you lovely man. All Charlton, aren't we? Even a draw in the Brentford-Charlton game will be great. My God. Toby, yeah, never intentional, but would probably be ruled out in the Prem. Good. I think we're finding some agreement because there was some argument in the half-time stream. To be fair to Matt and Owen, who were querying me, Maybe I wasn't quite right at half-time, but I have gone and read the rules and changed my position. So I will apologise to you two guys for my position at half-time. Julian says, I think Julian's a Norwich fan, actually. Norwich, the worst team ever to play in the Premier League, so he's allowed to say that. I thought Derby were the worst ever in the Premier League. That would be by the points. Yeah, Norwich will score more points. Robert says, ball to hand would be allowed if that's the case. I don't know what he means, but ball to hand, the kids I play with at school, I try and teach that ball to hand is not in the laws anywhere in the game, and we need to be going with deliberate or not deliberate. It doesn't matter what the ball's doing, it matters what your hand's doing and have you deliberately handballed it. Yes, Adam and Eve, smash that like button indeed. Chris probably will be either Fulham or Cardiff to join Leeds and West Brom in the Premier League, as they are both used to the playoffs. Okay, fair enough. Toby agrees with me. Crazy rule, it won't be there next season. They're going to have to find some way of tweaking that, because there is no way. I mean, the Tottenham one was even worse, wasn't it? There's no way that a football player falling over and having a ball booted at their arm should be a reason for a goal to be struck off. And they've written a rule and they've put a noose around their own neck saying if a non-deliberate handball leads towards a goal, the goal gets disallowed. Because what else can the officials do? I'm not blaming the officials in the slightest here. They have to disallow the goal because the law says if you go on and score. But yes, that needs rewording, doesn't it? Watford 2, Norwich 1, says Jay. Leo says it's unfair to give the Prem VAR and not the Championship and lower leagues. Probably, yeah, there probably does need to be some kind of parity. I don't think it's a fairness thing. I think it's a money thing, isn't it? And the Premier League have the money to do it. Jin and Sital. Ben, very nervous at the moment as Leeds fans. Thank you for viewing. Oh, it was an excellent Leeds video, Jinder. Yeah, good job. Brilliant team as well. Best. Check that out on Jinder's channel. Plug it in the chat, Jinder. The 30-year Leeds team, very impressive. Ewan says, hopefully VAR will never come to the Championship. Batch makes a reasonable point. Pointless debate in handball. Ref didn't give it. That was the point I very inarticulately made at half-time. That as soon as he either doesn't see it or doesn't give it, it is irrelevant, isn't it? Because there's no VAR. It doesn't matter. And I'm sure a ref can get away in their report with saying, I didn't see conclusively that was handball. If I was the ref boss and he tells me he didn't see it conclusively, what else can I say? You know, it was blasted at him and he's on the floor and he gets up. So it's a difficult one. Get in Watford. Welbeck scored. Danny Welbeck with a worldie overhead. Owen says, hopefully it does. You've probably never been to a game there. Leo says more positives that outweigh the negatives of VAR. I think as they start getting it right over the years, it will become part of the fabric of the game and it will get better. Joshua says refs have a hard enough job as it is. Yes, they do. VAR is supposed to help them. And I have to say, us fans need to be a little bit more understanding in situations where you know, they're human. And look, I've tried many, many times with my notebook to watch a game in real time. Okay, I'm not as close as the ref and I can't talk to the players. And I get a lot of stuff wrong watching it in real time from the stands without replay. Sometimes I can get on Twitter and see a replay. And then I go to my car and do a review. And then somebody who's seen 10 replays has a pop at me for getting something wrong. And I feel how the refs feel. It's like I had one look in real time and you've had 10. Yeah, okay, you're right. But if you had one look, would you have been right? You know, it's difficult, very difficult. Brandon, I don't disagree. Nice. Matt, sounds fair to me. I think that Derby side is even better than Norwich. So someone check the points on that. Craig says, trust me, you don't want VAR in the Championship. It's a shambles. I don't mind VAR if they rejig the laws to cope with VAR, to make it less ridiculous. So there is, I don't know how they're going to do it, but some kind of percentage that says that if this part of my shirt blowing in the wind goes offside, that, you know, that's not the reason. And again, if the ball is, you know, booted at my hand and I jump up and smash it in from 25 yards, I just think they need to, everyone's agreed, lovely. They need to rejig those wording. If VAR was in today, Forest would have won 1-0. So it's subjective. Yeah, where are you getting the Forest goal from, Leo, in that instance? But yes, I agree the Fulham goal might well have been chalked out. Goal could have been given either way, and Forest with 59 possession, but never looked like scoring. Interesting. Matt says, I hope that when VAR comes to the Championship, rules are tweaked. I agree, so that when arms aren't away from the body or in our nets. Absolutely. Well done, Matt. I totally agree. Some change to the wording that some very clever football brain or legal mind, the two of them get together, writes, that needs to come in to basically stop people getting given offside for 1 inch, and to stop those crazy. Because like with the Figueiredo one today, he doesn't deliberately handball it in the penalty box, does he? He slips over, he's on his backside, Knockaert tries to go round him, and it hits his arm. It's not deliberate, and it doesn't stop a goal, does it? So it's so difficult because the word deliberate and not deliberate implies intent, and intent comes from inside someone's mind, doesn't it? So it's very difficult. But I totally agree with Matt's point that he's talking about the body silhouette or away from the body. Surely, if you're pushing yourself up, you have to use your, unless you're Shawn Michaels in WWE and you can do one of those kip up things, you have to use your arms to get up. If not, I just don't see how that can be an unnatural position. And then that will be good, because then we'll be able to see the Stockley Park people say, goal stands, handball, but not an unnatural position. Yeah, something like that, whereby it cannot be deliberate if you're in a natural position. Something like that. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer or a mad football brain. Robert doesn't want VAR in the Championship. Jay's asking me. Handball from Fulham in the box. Where was that? I don't recall that. 0-0 Reading. Who are Reading playing? That is Huddersfield. Let's just check these scores at the moment. Let me just refresh my info. Goal. 70 minutes. Brentford 0, Charlton 1. Langy, we don't need Mitro. There we go. Penalties aren't forced to go in. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but they are 0.77. They are an obvious goal scoring opportunity. Yeah, where was that? Where was that handball, Leo? Tell us the player. I don't appear to have it in my notes. Where are we? Where are we looking? Lana says goal looked okay. Hard for ref. Very split second. There again, Forest would never have scored anyway, even by now. Matt, 7 points clear, Ben, not 10 if West Brom win. Sorry, let me have a look. If I've got that wrong, I apologise. If West Brom win, yes, sorry, 7. You're absolutely right. Sorry, I've got that totally wrong. Yeah, I'm misreading the table. I'm trying to do 20 things at once, but yes, Matt, you're right. You're absolutely right. So, yeah, that would... what Leeds and West Brom are looking for, which is me stating the bleeding obvious, they're looking for a 9-point lead with 3 games to go, aren't they? Yes, you are. You are right, Matt. I'll hold my hands up on that one. Could have, but with how your shots were going, wouldn't have thought you would have scored the penalty. I'm hoping there's nothing else to update. Remember, this is the Championship. There's always something else to update. Helder Costa signs a 4-year deal at Leeds. Oh, was that written into the original contract? Or I know there was a weird deal with Costa that was all tied up with, what was his name? Jack Clark. God, they got the right end of that deal, didn't they? And lots of things going on afterwards. Colin says, to be honest, I thought it was going to be disallowed. That would have been poor if it had. Yes. Keith Andrews is an awful commentator. That is the Waffler's views, not mine. Keith Andrews was actually a brilliant loanee for Ipswich. I think he scored something like 8 goals in 13 games from midfield. Incredible. Why are Leeds fans worried about Brentford? Not thinking they will bottle it again, are they? And Jay says, not if Brentford lose. George, West Brom. All hope is on Charlton. Come on, Watford. Yes, they are 2-1 up. Tony says football needs human error. Gin is back. Thanks for the plug. I think we need to get rid of the drinks break now. It's not even hot at the moment. Here's the video link, guys. Thank you, Gin. Matt says VAR seem much better in the Bundesliga. Hardly any controversy as the ref often goes over to review on the pitch side screen. There we go. I think football fans struggle with that, don't they? They struggle with not being able to see what's going on. And I think they would like to see the ref. Honestly, if there was a way of putting one line on the screen that says VAR, goal disallowed, what's the word? Statutory deliberate handball by Arter leading to a goal, then everybody would know. And God, for a nerd like me, they could even quote the law underneath it, because one problem with football fans is none of them actually know. I'm sorry, no offence to the people in the chat who are very well read. A lot of football fans don't know the laws in the slightest. And you ask them, why is it handball? Tell me what law that is. And they say, oh, yeah, it just is handball. There we go. VAR has been in the Bundesliga longer. Yeah, maybe that's why. Will Blackburn do Derby a favour tonight? Possibly. I've got Cardiff favourites for that run. Tony says VAR should be an appeal system like tennis or cricket. Again, that puts human error into it, doesn't it? If a team makes an incorrect challenge when they could have done a correct challenge, although I suppose that puts it down to the team. But then do the teams get to see replays before they make their challenges? It would be difficult. Basically, all we want is if somebody does a blatant handball in it, it's going to change the result of the game. We don't want them to get away with it. If Frank Lampard shoots against Germany and Manuel Neuer pulls the ball out and it's clearly crossed the line, we want a goal to be disallowed. And let's be totally honest, as England fans, if Thomas Muller scores that goal, it should be given a goal, shouldn't it? A goal is a goal, and it's the hardest thing to do in football, and we just want to see valid goals get allowed and invalid goals get disallowed. And I think most of us feel that if a player's slipped over and the ball gets kicked at his arm and he gets up and smacks it in from 25 yards, it should be a valid goal, shouldn't it, really? But they need to sort that wording out, and I accept the arguments at the moment that say, by the wording, it's handball. I get it. I really do get it, honestly. Cardiff Blackburn draw, says Jay. Should be a handball like it used to be. I still think there'll be some interpretation in handball, and there would still be a debate. But what we have with VAR now is ridiculous. I bet the Brentford score late equaliser and a late winner. There we go. Dave says Defo handball. He's on about Defo slight movement towards the ball. Interesting. What a game. Palace and Chelsea is 3-2. The Waffler says it should always be handball because it's an illegal part of the body and the ball hitting the hand cannot be separated from the subsequent opening. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. In which case, if that were the case, the Waffler, I would suggest that anything, if it's always going to be handball, deliberate, not deliberate, wherever on the pitch, whatever happens afterwards, maybe it should be from there above. I don't know. You'd have to trial this stuff. Matt says right twice in one video. There you go. Oh my God, we have a goal at Brentford. Saeed Benrahma has scored for Brentford on 75 minutes. There we go. VAR was supposed to stop arguing. Yeah, exactly. We've been on about. And the stupid thing is, VAR is supposed to be kind of factual, black and white. But all that happens is, like I'm arguing now, is that, oh, the wording's wrong. Do you know what I mean? So even though it is black and white, that if VAR sees a replay of the ball hitting Harry Arter's hand, and then the fact that he scores means it led to a goal, that is completely black and white, that it would be disallowed if you have a still image of it hitting his hand and him then scoring. The debate then goes on, doesn't it? So I said in the preview, Charlton to win 1-0. In the original contract, it's 1-1. It is 1-1. Mitro could be the key in Fulham in the playoffs. He has 24 goals. Does he? A good rest. Oh, I see. I thought you meant he scored 24 playoff goals. That would be Kevin Phillips style stuff, wouldn't it? But yes, if he gets a rest. Owen, I'm nervous now because I don't want to play Brentford. There we go. Owen, I hope you got my backpedaling about the handball. There we go. Do Leeds actually want Helder Costa if they go up? This is a funny one with these Leeds players, Harrison and Costa, because I think they're doing exactly what Bielsa's asking, and he probably watches lots of footage back and loves everything they do. Tony says Keith Andrews has a wonderful surname. I prefer Harrison to Costa. They're both really good. Come on, there we go. Oh, Mr. Core. Mr. Core must be betting on Brentford. Go and follow Mr. Core on Twitter. He's very funny, but he will try and bait you into saying stuff that you don't want to. Leeds are going up. Leeds are going up. Here we go. Yeah, and here comes through. Sorry, I'm just behind. 1-1. Everyone telling me that the Bees have scored. Mark says Charlton hang on for a draw. Tony telling me, everybody telling me that Brentford scored. Right. There we have it. I'm going to probably leave this stream now. I think you're all just got your eye on Brentford and Charlton. As I understand it, it says 79 minutes. So call that 4 minutes stoppage time. 15 minutes for Brentford to get a winner and keep up that pressure on West Brom and Leeds. Jay says Forest beat Brentford twice. They're the team that will stop getting Brentford promoted. Yes, I was at one of those games. Let's take one more little look here at the table. As it now stands, Brentford will be on 73 and will be above Fulham. I took the snapshot of that table at 1-0 down in that game. There's still hope, though, for the Chasers that Derby can do something at West Brom tomorrow. No, you're not going to get the Charlton score, right? Because Brentford have scored, absolutely. Right, can I just say thank you, everybody, for joining in. You can support the channel. Use that super chat function. There's a little $sign next to the super chat button. You can also subscribe on Patreon. Can I just say thank you to all of you subscribers? There was a couple of incidents a couple of weeks ago where I was worried about, we talked about the Burnley banner and it all got a bit toxic in the comments, and some stuff was said that was, not very helpful, really. And what I like to see now is when we're debating football, everyone's agreeing and disagreeing and letting others have their say, and frankly, not being pricks about it, which is great. That shows our group of subscribers here can give us really, really good debate, sensible, without this crazy 2020 business of if you disagree with somebody that they've mortally offended you and upset everything. So thank you, everybody, for proving me wrong. Have I got it wrong again, Matt, on the points? Dear oh me. I'm all over the place with my maths today. I don't think I've got it wrong. 73, because that was a defeat at that point. So, yeah, I think I'm right that they've got 73. But, no, I was just saying thank you for, for not being, I don't want to use the word, but not being so snowflakey, which is great. Right, let's do some shout-outs here. Shout out to Adam and Eve, to Ewan, Enzo, Mike. Stay on until the end of the Brentford game. Really? I'm supposed to be going for a dog walk, and I wanted a glass of wine, to be honest. More great analysis. There we go. Well done, Ken, in the chat as well. There we go. Look at this. People admitting they're wrong. Oh, have we got a goal at Barnsley? God, that could relegate both teams, couldn't it? 1-1 now at Barnsley, says Jay. The Waffler agrees. Who scored for Barnsley? Someone let me know. Let me guess that it was Woodrow or Moa or Chaplin. Robert says cheers, although I'm getting hoodwinked here into staying on for the end of this. Let me know who scored the Barnsley goal, and then we will go. I'll give my reaction properly if there is that late Brentford goal that none of the Leeds or West Brom or Fulham fans actually want to happen. Yeah, 1-1 Barnsley. Jay says that could be the nail in the coffin for both of them. I don't have the bottom half of the table. I'm just looking it up on my phone real quick here. I don't have the bottom of the half in the photographs, but this is a live table. Barnsley 41, Luton 43. Now that is outdated before the goal. Come on, BBC, what are people paying their licence for? Let me do some backwards maths there. So that would be Barnsley 42, Luton 41. We're going to be underneath them on 38. But guys, this appeal seems to be gaining strength, doesn't it? For Wigan, lots of people behind the appeal there. Jonathan, super chat. Thank you. £2 super chat from Jonathan. He says Leeds. We love you, Leeds. Leeds, if I'm supposed to do it tunefully. Apo Hallewell. So I'm assuming that was a set play and a header if it was Hallewell. Thank you, the Waffler, as well. Andrew says, Fulham have led in 24 games this season. Wow. Look at that. So Fulham are very good if they take the lead. Remember that for the playoffs. Kieran says, come on, Charlton, get a draw. It's getting closer. As a Wednesday fan, I've never been so happy to see Barnsley score. There we go. Hallewell. Ewan says, scrap the TV licence. Ewan's words, not mine. I'm not saying I agree or disagree. Ewan's words, not mine. Joshua says, Blue Army. Is that an Ipswich fan, Joshua? Or a team that's playing wearing blue? At the moment, let me address info goal. Let's have a look. We are 83 minutes at Brentford and 85 at Luton. By the way, Huddersfield are attempting to play out the rest of the season with 11 men in their own half, I think. Mike says, why don't you use FootMob? Mike, can you DM me? Because I'll forget that. But yeah, I'll try. Happy to try any apps. I use InfoGoal. I have also got on here StatZone, which is pretty good. That one there, yeah, they've got 84 minutes there. So Luton and Barnsley drawing. That will really help. Neither of them whatsoever. Brentford, Charlton. Well, that's a nice result for Charlton, but not going to help Brentford. Oh, goal for Brentford. Goal for Brentford. Oh, my God. It's happened. Ethan Pinnock. Wow, wow, wow. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, Leeds fans. And I bet you what you like. I don't know if you've seen the goal. That's Ethan Pinnock going round to the back post and scoring from a corner. Wow. If Brentford do this, this is going to be incredible. That's going to be 6 straight wins. 85 minutes. They've come back from 1-0 down. Benrahma and Pinnock. I'm going to give it a Warnock there. Wow. Unbelievable scenes. Jay says 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. Brentford turning on the star again. Looks like they might score any minute. Preemptive. Oh, no. Live a lad. Jesus is a pundit. Congratulations on the title win. Live a lad. Owen, I cannot believe this. I cannot believe what Brentford are doing. Kieran says, no. Brentford better not score. I'm sorry, mate. They have. You need Charlton for the comeback now. Jesus. I'm not going to read that, Ewan, but all Leeds fans have just soiled themselves, and West Brom fans and Fulham fans. As Gary Neville said when Drogba scored for Chelsea in that Champions League final, there's something in the air. There is something in the air at Brentford. My God. Jay is swearing politely. Leeds will still go up. Am I covering Fulham Cardiff on Friday? It's likely, Andrew. It's likely. Is that the Sky game? Mike says, not me, Matt. It's about what we do, not other teams. Mike is, of course, right. Holy hell. Right, I'm going to stay on now and see how this goes. Can you believe that? Right, let me see if I can get us a live league table up on the screen. Cardiff have just kicked off in the 7:45. I feel like Jeff Stelling going crazy. Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should have a full-on Soccer Saturday type program. Excuse me for not looking directly at you. I'm just getting this photograph up so you guys can see it. And we can see this current league table, because that Ethan Pinnock goal could be a huge goal. Obviously, I might head in the chair that Leeds look up themselves score 2 points per game. It should be absolutely fine. But yes, the chase is definitely on, and Brentford, wow. Right, I should have it, guys. Let's see if we can get that up. Sorry, I just have to flip it across from my phone. I'm sure some tech head will tell me a better way of doing it, and we should be able to see a live league table. Look at that, guys. Look at that. So Fulham win. Brentford winning. I'm sure the chat will go mad if Charlton can get an equaliser. If West Brom do not beat Derby, Brentford within 1 game of West Brom. And as we've said many, many times, let me just bring up Fulham's fixtures really really quickly. Excuse me, I'm going to bring up West Brom's fixtures. I think there's that Blackburn game in the way. 6 minutes added on. Barnsley, Luton, one of them needs a goal. Yeah, Derby, then Blackburn. And on July the 14th, if Fulham are within 6 points of West Brom on July the 14th, it is West Brom versus Fulham. Fulham have it in their hands to get within a game of West Brom. Although the last two fixtures, Huddersfield away and QPR at home, do look good for West Brom. Let me bring that up one more time. That Brentford goal by Ethan Pinnock means a great deal to Brentford, and it could be a 6th straight win. They're looking for 10 wins on the trot for promotion. Incredible, incredible stuff. Where are we going? Let's have a look. God damn it, Charlton, says Leeds 2020. Opinions on Garber. We'll do that in a minute, Joshua. No, I'll give them to you now. Good player, huge contract at Everton. I suspect I've just got a hankering, unless Wigan really do go under, that Anthony Robinson will go from Wigan. And because it's that part of the world, that Wigan will take Garber. That's me freestyling. How dare anyone doubt the Bees? Well, that's a disappointment, says Tony. Lots of Leeds fans disappointed. Jonathan, outstanding. Thank you, Sarah. £2 super chat. Everyone should donate something to you. Thank you so much. You can donate via super chat without a job now. If Derby beat West Brom and Leeds, it could be interesting. It could really be interesting. Oh, don't let it ruin your day. Come on. God damn it, Charlton. Yes, we had that one, didn't we? Brentford are a good footballing team. Yes, they are. Not happy off the back of Pearce. Was it an own goal? Oh, my God. If anyone's seen the goal, write a description of it. Brentford are on fire. At the end of 46 games, the top two teams on points go up. End of. Yes, they do. Big Fat Joe's Barmy Army says, what shirt is he wearing? I can't see. Is that a Joe Royal song for Ipswich? I don't know. That was a long time ago. Right, let's have a little look at Infogol and see where we are. 90 minutes up at Brentford. I don't know how much stoppage time there is. 91 gone at Luton. Let me just, I'll bring up the Brentford Twitter and we'll see what's going on there. Sensational, possible late winner by Ethan Pinnock there, just when the 6 minutes at Brentford, 6 minutes stoppage time. So maybe we'll stay on a little bit longer. I'm going to leave the Brentford Twitter page open here, so we should get the first notifications from there. Andrew says, wow, Brentford and Fulham are going to unite on the 14th of July when we play West Brom. If there's something on it, that's going to be a hell of a game. Look out for that. 14th of July, West Brom and Fulham. Still think Leeds and West Brom will go up automatically. They should do, but there's going to be twists and turns, as they always say. Nobody's going to be perfect. And also, guys, we haven't had this yet. Someone is going to lose a stupid game. Huddersfield will beat West Brom, or some. That will happen in this running. Believe you me, it always happens. PH Leeds, respect Brentford, very good side. Yeah, well said, in from a Leeds fan there. Would be a shame if we missed out on him, says Joshua and Luke Garber. There we go. Jin says Brentford's goal difference is massive. Yes, they do have the goal difference advantage on everyone. So that means Brentford just need to get within striking distance of West Brom and Leeds. And that can really do it for you because they know this is at the draw level on points. Norwich have lost. How close are Norwich now to actually officially being down? Let me just bring the Premier League table up. I think we're a game behind there. So Norwich have now played 34 and they are 6 behind. But no, Watford have moved to 31. So Norwich could be relegated on the next game. Norwich are 10 off safety now with 4 to play. That was what I was sort of alluding to with the top of the table there. You're looking for that unassailable lead. Nothing happening on the Brentford Twitter page. So I assume it's still 2-1 there. Leeds wait ages to get to the Prem. If they do, most maybe behind closed doors, it will be. Fair play to Brentford. Yeah, well said. Sorry, does that say Enzio? No, there's another Enzo on here. There's Enzo, the Forest fan, isn't there? So I was just going to say I've been pronouncing your name wrong, Enzio. Norwich down now, says Nick. Well, next game, probably. Luton and Barnsley might as well abandon defending. Absolutely. Let's have a look, see where they are. I think there was 6 minutes in each game. God, they're up to 95 at Luton. Brentford, 93. Wow. It's getting exciting here. Brentford might lose to Derby. Anyone might lose to Derby. I think Forest will do a Leeds. What do you mean, Owen? What do you mean? What, as in losing the playoffs and go up next season? We already had a Leeds draw at Luton, but agree there will be more twists and turns. I'm talking about a real crazy one. Some stupid, unpredictable home defeat. Don't want Villa back in the division. Would prefer the smaller Premier League clubs. Fair enough, Matt. But as someone who runs a YouTube, I quite like Villa, to be honest. I like the big clubs. 0-0. Oh, you got that one right, Jay. Yeah, Huddersfield. Actually, let me just bring up Huddersfield's last results. I don't think they've conceded any goals for 3 games now. So the Cowleys, obviously, after that Forest game, have just gone for, look, let's go real defensive. Yeah, that's 3 clean sheets in a row for Huddersfield. Lee says, would love Leeds, Brentford, then Forest playoff win. Really interested to see how Brentford would do in the Prem. Let me update my phone. 2-1 still. 96 played at Luton. 94 played at Brentford. Well done, Enzio. Thank you. Looks like you're going to get you get 2. You should need to start betting on this. John says League One will be tough next season. Just depends on what happens financially, doesn't it? Whether there are meltdowns in various teams. Let's go back to Twitter and see what the Brentford feed is saying. They're leaving us hanging, not updating us at all. Should we go to the Charlton feed and see if they're a bit more chatty? I love reading these feeds, how biased they are. Cullen booked. That's all we've got, and that was 5 minutes ago. Closing in on a big win. Robert says Brentford have earned their position by developing their players. Yes, indeed. They have. Brentford might lose to Derby. They might. All over Luton and Barnsley. Look, we'll put up, well, there's still a long way to go at the bottom of the table there, but that is not any help really for Luton or Barnsley. Someone needed to win that. Yeah, 1-1 full time there. Would really love Leeds in the Premier League, says Annie. 3-2 Chelsea has gone through. Dave says, our goal against Forest was the 18th straight game we've scored in. Wow, first time in 30 years. Good stat. Very good stat. Nathan Jones is going to lamp someone. Oh, I hope he doesn't, but there we go. I'm a lover, not a fighter. Who do you think we relegate from the Championship? I thought Warnock would keep Borough up, but you never know. Look, we're going to up to it in their next, assuming that appeal doesn't work for them. And now, maybe I should bring up another league table. Look, let's wait for these games to finish, and we're going to bring it up. Has Nathan Jones really lost the plot? I haven't seen any footage of this. Waffler says he's going to lamp someone, and Ewan says he's lost the plot. I don't know what's going on there. We will keep on. I'm on the BBC live chat now. Looks like full time. Squaring up to everyone. Where's Lee Johnson when you need him for the little man syndrome? Yes, he is over at Brentford. Wow. 5 minutes to go. Whatever you Leeds, West Brom and Fulham fans say, you've got to tip your hat to Brentford. That's 6 wins on the trot. They are on a hell of a run. I think Jonathan is flying the flag for the Super Chats. That's his 3rd one. Thank you so much, Jonathan, for that there. Another £2 Super Chat. I think the BBC are just updating their app. What is Nathan Jones doing? What's he doing? We need to get some footage of this. I need to see this. He's probably realised that that's possibly relegated his team. Right, I'm going to try and get a live table up. I believe the one at the top I've got is correct. So I'm going to leave that one there, and we're going to bring up a live table of the bottom half. So we can just look at that, just so we can see the impact of that Luton and Barnsley result. It's kind of a nothing result, but it's a big result there because one of those teams needs to get 3 points to really have a chance of staying up. Right, so we're going to have any second when it airdrops itself to my screen. I should just say Jonathan's super chat comment, which I'm supposed to read, obviously, obligated to, says Brentford will be playing Norwich next season. We'll see. We will see. They could win the playoffs. They could go up automatically, or they could stay down. And if that's not stating the bleeding obvious, which I'm quite good at, then I don't know what is. Right, here comes the live league table for the bottom of the league. Right, before you do anything else, take 12 points off Wigan and put them on 38 and move that line down 1 so Borough are safe. What it does mean is both teams, I mean, okay, look, maybe it's not doomed for Barnsley and Luton yet, but this depends on a Neil Warnock team continuing losing, which is surely unlikely to happen, isn't it? So Wigan 38, unless this appeal works, which it probably won't, but we'll follow that story. We'll see what happens. Stranger things have happened. Wigan 38, Luton 41, Barnsley 42. That's your bottom 3. You just got to look at the goal difference really goes against Luton. Luton at the moment are 3 behind Borough, who go to Millwall, which is not an easy game, is it? Millwall pushing for the playoffs. So if I'm a Barnsley fan, I know I need to be within 2 points of Borough because the goal difference is so bad. So it's not totally done for Barnsley. However, if Borough win, then it starts to look. But I mean, look, anyone there, Borough, Hull, Charlton and Stoke could all lose their next 3 games or something, in which instance Barnsley would only need a win and a draw to supplant some of them. Just got to look at those goal differences, though, that Luton, they need wins, don't they? Draws and 1 point and pulling level with someone isn't enough because of the goal difference there. And we'll see what happens with Wigan. I'll tell you what, if that gets overturned, then Borough in real trouble. Remember as well with Barnsley, though, the last 3 games absolutely stink for Barnsley. Absolutely crazy, difficult running for them. They're not, in fact, too bad for Luton. So Barnsley's remaining games, Wigan, Leeds away, Forest at home and Brentford away. So Barnsley, you'd say on the basis of goal difference, they needed a win today and probably a win versus Wigan. That hasn't happened. So Luton's is a little bit of a different story, I have to say. Huddersfield, QPR, Hull, Blackburn. I would much rather Luton's fixtures than Barnsley. And effectively, Luton are second bottom. So, look, again, as I've said many times, they have to get wins, Luton and Barnsley, to be able to do anything. Remember, Wigan as well. Wigan, if they play anything like they've been playing for the last 7, 8, 10 games even, they'll stay up because even though 12 points off, they play Barnsley, Hull and Charlton. Although you wouldn't fancy Fulham on your last day, especially if there's anything riding on the Fulham game. Right. We did it, guys. We stayed until the end. Give me an update on Nathan Jones. A 12-leg parlay and they all come through. Well done, Jay. How much did you win? Congratulations, my friend. Oh, they're squaring up with the ref, are they? Good. Controversy. Should City be stripped of last year's Premier League title if they lose the fair play appeal? I'm not going to get involved in that because this is a championship channel, but I can do some reading. Probably not going to happen, but they stripped Juventus, didn't they, in Italy, and they still claim that they've won them. So I think what goes on in people's heads. Barnsley and Luton helping keeping Wednesday up, says Jim. They're all over the ref, apparently. Brentford just won't go away, but you have to hand it to them. Yeah, 6 wins on the trot. Brentford on a hell of a tear. Any Leeds and West Brom mistake is going to be punished. Really says Lee Johnson training with Bristol in Spain would be enough to put any club. Yeah, it was a bit David Brent, wasn't it? Keep Wednesday 10 points clear. Yeah, so a 9-point deduction, and Wednesday would be safe according to Jim. Cardiff have taken the lead over Blackburn. What does that do for Forest if Cardiff win? within 1 point. There we go. Although it's Derby, Swansea and Millwall. I wonder if you'll see Millwall start to push through there. Millwall have got the easier fixtures, but nothing predictable. Yeah, 1-0. There. Matt says, we Wednesday need to beat Preston tomorrow, then I'll be happier. Can still see Hull managing to lose the next 5. Fair. They have had a little splurge, though. 4 points in 2 games, but they lost the last one, didn't they? But that was at West Brom. Really not happy with the Wigan situation, says Lee. Should be the EFL get fined? How can they say that new owners? Yeah, but who's going to fine the EFL? You know, the EFL are top dogs, but yeah, I get it. And if Wednesday beat Preston, I think we'll stay up even with a deduction. Yeah, I feel sorry for Wigan fans. Players, Luton and Barnsley look cooked, look done. Where am I looking? Sorry, sometimes I hit the button and it scrolls. Bottom 3 is probably done. Bottom 3, Jim, now is relying on either Borough. Why not just bring it up? It's relying on Borough, Hull. I'm going to have to remove your comment now, my friend. Relying on Borough, Hull, Charlton, Stoke to lose 3 games in a row now, isn't it? That's what it's relying on. Someone to just zero it for a while. Step up from League One to the Championship looks to be difficult. Well, I can tell you from an Ipswich fan's point of view, the step down is really easy. You just lose all your games. There you go. Cardiff 1 up. Disaster, says Ridley. Barnsley will be my favourite. Yeah, Struber is a good coach. I do agree with that. Who will win League One playoff final? Oxford versus Wickham. That's a hard one to call. Oxford is a better footballing side, but Wickham, you know, they're there for a reason, and they've been very tricky opponents for everyone. Nathan Jones sent off. I haven't won yet, says Jay. Needs Cardiff to win. They're 1-0 up already, apparently. So you're looking good. Looking good, my friend. I think a few draws will be enough from a Wednesday point of view. Colm, hit that like. There we go. Robert says, more entertaining than match of the day. Here we go. We don't have any ex-players mincing their words here, do we? Goal difference give Owls another point. Ken! Thank you, Ken. Clapping in solidarity with Ken's £2 super chat, super sticker for the channel. Thank you so much, Ken. As I've said a million times, well, I've been sent home from work now, but I get to go back. It's like David Brent. I get to go back on the last day to say goodbye. There will be no music at my school all next academic year. So I do not have a job basically in 2 weeks. And I'm working so hard at this, but relying on lovely people like Ken helping out with donations and trying to build up the subscribers and the ad rev. So do get involved if you can. Obviously, I understand it's been COVID and people like me are short of cash at the moment. I get it. But thank you, Ken. It's going to be a real unfair game if Brentford only get playoffs and don't get through. That's the game. DJ Skipper. We all know Leeds were probably the third best team in the division, weren't they? So, but playoffs, we start again, don't we? The rules change. It's a 3-game series to get up. Blackburn are useless, says Ridley. He's not happy. 6 on the bounce for Brentford. As I've said all along, have to assume they'll win every game. We need 10 points to guarantee going up from a Leeds point of view, David says. We'd love to see Akin Fenway in the Championship, wouldn't we all? Katie says, tonight has been all right for Wigan. Yes, indeed, it has. Isn't Wickham closer to me? Yes, it is, to be fair. Oxford isn't a bad... No, Oxford, you have to do those rubbishy roads. Wickham, you would for Wickham as well, go around the M40. But, yeah, I don't mind travelling. Hey, look, I travel anyway to just see a blooming live game now at the moment. Jay thinks Oxford's going to win. Struber has gone from working the entire Red Bull Salzburg, I'm not allowed to say Red Bull, am I? Sorry, RB Salzburg system to get his side. How is he at Barnsley? Yeah, good hire, that one. Worried about Brentford, says Ridley. Spot on, David. Jonathan, that's his 3rd super chat. That's very, very kind, Jonathan. If we meet, I will buy you a pint at Leeds. Leeds are going up and Barnsley's going down, plus Hull are rubbish. I have to say this because he did a super chat. We all love Leeds. We all love Leeds. We all hate Hull. But Jonathan, thank you so much for supporting me and supporting the channel. A few more comments have come in. You guys are insane. Apologies. Hip is late. It doesn't matter, my friend. No obligation to be on time. The fact that you're here is very humbling anyway. Logan says, wish Brentford would just go away. They really are going to win every game. These poor Leeds fans. Leeds fans are the most anxious kind of paranoid fans. They're just assuming that Brentford are never going to lose ever again. That surely they won't do it. Matt says, Rob Jones is a disgrace. That would be the referee in the Forest game. Wine fund activated. No. It's it's not the wine fund, I promise. How can Wigan appeal for a deduction for going to admin when they put themselves there? And there lies the problem, the waffler. I think the appeal is on the basis that their own owners aren't fit and proper. And I don't think the appeal is actually coming from Wigan per se. I think it's coming from helpful onlookers. But yeah, I know what you mean. Crazy removing music from the curriculum. I'll defend my headmaster here, says Lee. The budgets have all gone down and they have to do their budget for next year based on the regulations as they are now, which means bubbles, etc. So no job for me, sadly. There we go. 1-1 at Blackburn. Up the Blackburn, says Ewan. Derby under immense pressure for tomorrow night and against Brentford. Can you imagine Derby do everybody a favour and win both of those games? Incredible. Norwich will be relegated in the next game. Who have Norwich got in the next game? I don't think it really matters because they're losing to all their rivals anyway. But yeah, it's going to be a very interesting case study with Norwich now because they went up in a blaze of glory very quickly. The Premier League has not gone well for them. They've still got the basis of that brilliant team that went up, but it's going to be interesting to see the psychology of it and the workaround. 1-1, Danny Graham. A few people updating me. Ridley's backpedaling on what he said about Blackburn. There you go. He's their biggest fan now. 1-1. 1-1. Got me. I don't know what to do from a Bristol City fan. In what respect, Danny? No Birmingham fans are the most paranoid, are they? Okay, interesting. I'm sure plenty of football fans could have a fair shout of being the most insecure, most paranoid fans. Most of us are, aren't we? Oh, Norwich v West Ham. Okay, that would absolutely kill Norwich, wouldn't it? I haven't looked at. Let me look at we know on the fly. My maths is not best, is it? But I think Norwich now 10 points with 4 to go. So yeah, anything less than a win and results going in their favour. But my BBC app's not loading up very quickly. Katie says, "Oh right, yeah, but yeah, that's the right, yeah." Katie's always good for Wigan knowledge. The administrators have launched the appeal, so they are a third party. So that wouldn't be Wigan appealing against something that Wigan did. That's the administrators who are a third party. Launched the deduction appeal due to our owners doing a runner. However, if we get a further 15 points if we don't pay enough, oh my God. These Wigan owners, Jesus Christ. Just not fair, is it? Especially on those players who've been so good. Matt said, I think Wednesday are more paranoid. Everyone's more paranoid, aren't they? I think they still have got Man City away, Norwich. So waiting for the EFL hearing is torture for us Wednesday. Well, come on, look. Last year, Jim, the Birmingham figures came in like June, July. They were found guilty in August, September. And the hearing and the points deduction came in the last international break in March. So they're not the fastest, are they? Annie says, I've never been in this situation before. We have nothing to play for. Well, it's a new manager, Dean Holden in as caretaker. I don't know if Steve Lansdowne will be the guy to give the caretaker manager the job, but we will see. But I'm sure they'll hire somebody very soon, Annie. Tony says, us Leeds fans have every reason to be nervous. Yeah, they say 20 years worth of reasons. Aren't the administrators running Wigan? So they are Wigan. Yes and no, Matt. They are running Wigan, but it's a bit like a power of attorney type situation. So they are running Wigan, but they're not Wigan. They are a third party. They're an objective third party, which means they can sell players for way less than football fans think they're worth. So it's, yeah, yes and no, effectively on that one. Never been on the beach before. I was used to it until Bielsa came in. Hey, Ipswich used to be on the beach in the Championship. Oh, for those days, Bert. There we go. Bristol always fall into mid-table near the end of the season. Mike says, talk Norwich City vlog is fun. at the moment. Obviously, I have to stand up for my mate Jack in that one. Done lots of work with him, and the Reeve and Bloom show should be available again very, very soon, probably for the start of next season. But yes, they're not having a good time. Mark, still nervous. Sky Sports don't help Leeds. We're on TV for the next 3 games. Can I believe that? Can I believe that Leeds are on TV, Jim? Yes, I can. Did you see the Leeds tweet today? It said something like, this will come to a shock to all of our supporters, but game against Barnsley has been moved to Thursday for Sky. There we go. Logan says there are only 3 teams which deserve autos, but there's only 2 teams that can get it. There we go. 75 people have been let go. The owners of Wigan Warriors, they're trying to get an investor to help take over. My God, there we go. Aren't there beaches close to Ipswich anyway? So that's funny. Loads of them, actually. Felixstowe. Southwold is lovely, but that's probably 45 minutes, isn't it? But yeah, Felixstowe, look it up. Makes Southend look like Fulham. No offense to Felixstowe, of course. Best scenario, Leeds still 6 points clear of third. Worst scenario, drop into third by Sunday evenings. That won't happen, will it? But yes, it is a worst case scenario there. The season before last, I'm pretty sure. Oh, stop it, Jay. Do you know that season, Ipswich finished 12th, Leeds finished 13th, and Norwich finished 14th. And then 2 seasons later, Norwich are in the Premier League, Leeds are top of the Championship, and Ipswich are 11th in League One. Terrible. Luton and Barnsley haven't helped themselves. Nope, they haven't. They need 3 pointers, in the words of Alan Kirbishley. Steve Landown has cash at Bristol City, always stays within FP. Yeah, really good sales and recruitment. But still, this has been the Ipswich fans' criticism of Marcus Evans. Still lets the manager reinvest the money that he pulls in. Would the Championship miss Leeds? Of course they would. Sky Sports will be, I mean, look, Sky Sports get Leeds whether they're in the Championship or in the Premier League. But in all seriousness, I know the jokes, Leeds are massive, Leeds would take more. Those pubs, those away ends, anyone in commerce in football in the Championship will miss Leeds just because they're huge support base. And I will for all of these friends I've made. But you're going to stay, all you Leeds fans, aren't you, watching the channel? Oxford or Wickham versus Norwich? Possibly. Do I think Ipswich will get promoted next season, Katie? God, I hope they will. But need to see some evidence that they can actually establish a pattern of play and play well. They looked to all intents and purposes like they were going to do it this season, but hey-ho, didn't happen, did it? I would have liked Leeds, Forest and Derby all to go up at the same time. That wouldn't do my channel much good, Ridley, would it? We need some big clubs in the Championship, don't we? And those 3 all kind of come up under their barrier. They will have to share us with BT if all goes well. And look, if all goes well with my channel and the growth of the channel, maybe we can look at still following the 3 promoted teams, as in I do a Championship alumni series, etc., just so I can keep in touch with you guys. Joel says, Forest, starting to make me feel slightly nervous. Why are you nervous, Joel? Let's have a look at the table. Cardiff are drawing at the moment. No, what was it, Joel? Sorry, I don't think you've got reason to be nervous, mate. 68 there, and Derby's running is horrific. Millwall are the ones with the nice running. Swansea a point closer as well. But that is a 7-point gap with 5 to go. So you'd assume Forest don't need too many more points. 100% once I get a job, I'll be able to donate. But I'm currently furloughed from my job at Elland Road. Oh, you work at Elland Road? Interesting, Joe. By the way, I know I plugged the Super Chats and Patrons. If you're furloughed, I'm not talking to you. You know, you don't need to donate to a YouTuber if you're furloughed, obviously, and that kind of goes without saying when I'm doing plugs. Only if you can afford do a super chat, and I'm very grateful for the people that do. If Leeds go up, we'll still watch you. This is the most fun, nerve-wracking league in the. No, he says nerve-wracking, not nerve-wracking. There we go. I want Ipswich to go next season and Norwich to stay in the Championship and Ipswich to beat them. Oh. If Ipswich never play Norwich again, I won't be unhappy because it's just been awful, hasn't it? There we go. Wednesday, staying here for a while, I think. Possibly. Let's see who pipes up at Wednesday in terms of players and managers in the next 12 to 18 months. Forest will be okay, I agree. There will be no travelling fans next season. Yeah, that's a fair point in terms of missing Leeds. Yeah, everyone's going to be short of cash, even that. The pubs looking forward to Leeds coming. if there's no travelling fans. Hopefully there will be. But right, this has been a great stream. I was supposed to go about half an hour ago, but you guys persuaded me. And then Ethan Pinnock scored for Brentford, didn't he? So we were supposed to be doing Forest 0, Fulham 1. Bit damp from Forest. Fulham played it quite well. Lovely big debate about VAR and deliberate handball and not deliberate and all of this jazz. So I can still see comments coming in. I'm gonna leave them, and I'm gonna just say thank you so much. I'd love to read every single one, but I think I've got to go and walk the dogs, and it's getting dark here now. Nights are drawing in now. We're past the solstice. It'll be like till 9 o'clock. But there we go. Thank you all so much. Who are we doing tomorrow? I can't even remember. Someone remind me. West Brom and Derby. West Brom and Derby. There we go. I might try and do a football news update tomorrow. So, hey, Ewan, do I think the Premier League would be better with all the big clubs in it? No, I want some in the Championship. There we go. Wigan have never been on the beach. There we go. Playoff spot. One playoff spot. I forgot if you ever said that for a while. Go walk the dog, says Jay. And Joel, yeah, hopefully I've put him on here. Robert says goodbye again. Before you go, guys, there's still over 60 people in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button, and I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the super chats. Go subscribe on Patreon. Not if you're furloughed, for goodness sake, Jay from Leeds. Right, thank you all. See you tomorrow. Over.